Hello, indie authors and Patreon subscribers and supporters. Thanks so much for doing this and joining me on this journey of being an author. So I thought I would use today's connection video as a look into my world, peripherally, but you know a little bit about my life when you listen to the podcast and when you hear my personal updates. But yeah, I guess I thought I would get a little bit more nitty gritty and just kind of walk through what my world looks like. So I'm in my office right now. So I'll just give you a little, this door is open because I've got a box of books that I ordered for some upcoming events, and so that's kind of messy, and my desk is not in the best shape, but it actually looks fairly decent. And this is my year at a glance calendar. I got that idea from Tim Grahl. I think it was Tim Grahl. It might have been Joseph Michael. He's the Scrivener coach. I used to follow him too. So either one of those two gave me the idea to have like a look at a glance for the year, and I can put up, conference dates or dates that I'm actually not going to be around, so I don't feel so shitty about not writing those times of the month when I'm traveling. And so I just kind of have, this is sort of where I sit when I do my videos. So you can see that nice blue and purple wall behind me, but it's hard to get in between the windows so that the light doesn't shine, or so that the light from the window doesn't shine behind me. Today's video looks fairly decent because you can actually see through the window to the yard outside, the neighbor's yard. But when I'm sitting in the chair, all it looks like is this big shiny thing behind my head, and that's not cool. So, and then I'll just spin around, blah, 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 blah. There's an extra desk for extra things to get in the way. So I'm going to move through the house quickly and go out into my backyard so you can see what my backyard looks like. So I've got this little corner here of some flowers, and we've got a nice little sectional out here. And I really like it for just relaxing out here. It's been really nice in the last 4 days or so, and in the 70s, which has been super amazing for me and my seasonal depression. And it's already June 3rd, and it's just now getting, sunny. And usually, historically, June is pretty crappy in the Willamette Valley. So probably half of this month will be gray and rainy also. And then about mid-July, it starts getting hot. And then by the end of August and into September, it is starting to cool down a little bit sometimes, but by the beginning of October, it starts getting back into fall weather, and we're all pretty ready for that, because when it gets hot here, it gets really hot, and historically the Willamette Valley has not gotten this hot, but for the past, I want to say 3 years or so, we've had a couple of weeks of over 100-degree weather, which nobody in the Eugene, Albany, Corvallis, like nothing in the Willamette Valley is prepared for that, because we've had such a temperate climate up until the last, 5 years, 10 years, because of global warming. It's gotten so much hotter, and nobody has any AC because nobody used to have any problem with the weather being too hot. But now it's too hot and is uncomfortable because nobody has AC. But we have a nice backyard. I mean, our backyard is kind of small, but you can see that we have the butte. It goes all the way up there. And so that means that it's not very sunny in the house. It's not very hot in the house. Even if it's hot outside, then because of all of that shade, we end up having the inside of the house being cooler than the outside. So often I overdress because I'm a little bit chilly inside and I'm sitting down and I'm working, and then I don't have a proper idea of what the temperature actually is. So then I go outside and I'm like sweltering because I have like a sweater on inside or something. But what I really want to do is show you the front yard, because this weekend, Ali, my husband, and I worked in the front yard doing some yard work, and we had we work at the Oregon Country Fair volunteering every year, and main camp has opened, which means it's really super busy and everybody's out there now getting their booths ready for the fair. And it's just, well, we're out there a lot in the summertime, and so that means that we can't do any work at our own home, and that makes me sad. So I think I said it in another I think it was on the podcast, I mentioned that I hired a gardener to help us get through the months where we're not working on our own yard. But we have a couple of these garden beds, and we weeded them. They were full of weeds. I don't know if you can see it or not. I can't see the screen anymore because of the sun glare. But this bed we totally emptied out, and we planted some wildflower seeds, Be Happy wildflower seeds. So we're hoping that they'll pop up. And this bin has, as you can see, strawberries, and also tons of echinacea and black-eyed Susans. And this bed gets prolifically huge. In fact, this year we were going to divide up the not bulbs, the tubers, but we didn't get to it. And look at my rose. It's huge. So anyway, that's our yard, and that's what my husband's fancy schmancy classic car looks like. He's gotten the classic car bug. So we have 4 cars, which is ridiculous, but he and I both have a Subaru. But then he got this classic car bug, and so his first classic car wasn't that one I just showed you. That's the second one. That's the 66 Chrysler Newport. And this one, his first, is actually under the carport and dusty, but it's a I don't even know, Mustang. It's a 1970 Mustang. But you can't see it. It's hard to see in the tiny little screen. So anyway, that was a little tour of my author life. That's what my house looks like. That's what my home office looks like. That's the yard work I did this weekend. And as far as other personal updates, I've just been working a lot on business growth, and one thing that I'm a little bit disappointed about in myself, and that I'm trying to not feel disappointed in myself for, is when I decide to do something, I just kind of go whole hog at it, and then I'm not able to keep up with whatever it is that I've started. And so that's a problem personally that I have, but also when it applies to my business, that means that I often set unrealistic expectations and deadlines for myself, which don't feel good when I can't make them because they're unrealistic. And one of those things was I wanted to do some, can you hear Radar? He's like freaking out that he's not in here on my lap, but this is going to be brief. So I'll finish up now. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I had decided I wanted to do some deep personal and business development growth. And so I signed up, for this business coaching / business education course. And and that's awesome, but I have to, do the homework for that and dive deep and think a lot about what I'm wanting, to put into the program. But at the same time, I also took a Strengths for Writers class, and I took an outreach class. And so I can't do all the classes at the same time. And so I get like that chomping at the bit sort of feeling where I want to do this, but I can't do that because I need to work on this. And that makes me feel scattered and mildly overwhelmed, but it's all fun stuff. So it's more of a I don't want to do this thing because I want to go do this other thing. It's more of I want to do all these things at the same time and I can't, so I just have to pick one and do it. And I guess that's my happy challenge right now is finding time to do the work on the classes that I'm excited to get involved in. So I will keep you posted on that sort of thing as I go through the program and just share what I'm learning and what I'm excited about. So thanks for joining me on the connection video for June. Thanks so much for being a Patreon supporter. It really means a lot to me. And I hope that you found some enjoyment in this little connection video. And please reach out and comment on this or start a conversation. I'm here, I'm listening, and I'd love to stay connected with you. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.